G'day everybody, finally I'm back. It's been a few weird looking weeks in the last 4 weeks, but I'm back. KLP's not here at the moment, but we seem to be working funny shifts, but hopefully all that changes next week. So let's get into the recap. Alright, last week we've seen the West Tigers come up against the hapless Raiders. The Raiders just can't play football at the minute, that's as simple as that. Tigers are playing good football, Luai's having a whale of a time, and the Tigers are in third spot now, so they actually are playing good footy, just not nuisance footy. The Raiders were minor premiers last year, and they don't look like anything like they were last year. The Raiders, to me, won't make the 8, but we'll see how that goes. Well done, the Tigers. Next game was the Cowboys versus the Sharks, and Drinkwater and that didn't. They were playing really good football. They should ask for a pay rise and they should get it. So those two guys are actually making that team, and they're making big inroads to this show. So the Cowboys are going fairly well and the Sharks are not. So that was the Cowboys 46, Sharks 34. It was a good game. Next game in was the Broncos versus the Bulldogs. The Broncos ran away with the first half. I think it was 26-0 at half time. The Bulldogs did make a bit of a comeback straight after half time, but the Broncos just marched on and got the job done. The next job after that was the Roosters took care of the last place Dragons. I can't believe the Dragons are last day. They've got a pretty good side on paper. I don't know what's going on there. Flanagan's out now, the coach. They've got a new coach, but that's not helping them. Roosters 62 points. 62 points to 16. That's not good enough from the Dragons. So we'll see how they bounce back. Once again, the Wars seem to be too hard to be beat at home. The Dolphins travelled across the ditch. That was seesawing backwards and forwards. Looked like the Dolphins might have taken the bickies, but the Wars dug deep and they got away with it. So well done to the Wars. Storm versus the Rabbits. I can't believe the Storm played a grand final last year. They've gone from top of the table to the bottom. Storm have lost, I think it's 5 games in a row now. The Rabbits are playing really good footy. Latrell and Co are just grinding it along. But the Storm, I don't know where their next win's coming. But we'll have a look at the ladder and we'll see how it goes. Knights versus the Panthers. Panthers are very clinical at the moment. Dylan Brown was back for the Knights. I think the Knights were playing better without Dylan Brown, but Ponga's only a couple of weeks to go. Let's see where they land in the next few weeks with both of those superstars back on the paddock. The Panthers are just clinical again. Dylan Edwards going along, scoring tries, busting the line. Bit hard to beat the Panthers when they're in scintillating form. Knights really got it handed to them. It was 44-12 Panthers way, so look out for those Panthers. Next game in is the Sea Eagles versus the Eels. I thought the Eels might have put up a bit more of a fight considering they beat the Dogs last week. And the Dogs beat the Panthers the week before, so I don't know. The Eels seem to be running hot and cold, and the Sea Eagles, well, they've got a new coach, Kieran Foran, and everyone thinks everything's nice. Personally, myself, I don't like Manly. I want them to get the spoon, but St George might beat them to the race. Eels, once again, on and off. But it'd be nice to see the Eels actually get on for a change and get jobs done. But anyhow, maybe this week. Alright, let's talk about round 9. Let's see, there's no Thursday night football, which suits me fine. It's the Canterbury Bulldogs up against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are playing good footy. Dead and Drinkwater have been combining very well. The Dogs have had last week off, so they'll be fresh. They did get beat by Parramatta, and by the looks of things, Parramatta's not going that well either. So I'm going to take the Dogs by 4 for the Dogs. Alright, the next game up is the Dolphins versus the Storm. The Storm are just pathetic, and I think they've lost their... I think Hughes is out this week. And with Hughes out, I don't think the Storm's going to go much better than what they've already been going. Dolphins, I don't know, Dolphins by maybe 4. It's going to be tight, but Dolphins are at home, so that's going to be pretty good. And the next game in is the Titans versus the Raiders. What do we think here? Titans, Raiders. On the ladder, the Titans are in front of them. They've had 2 wins. Raiders have had 3. The for and against goes towards the Titans at 30 to 82. Titans, Raiders. Oh, it's a coin flip here again. I think I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to go to Raiders one more time. I just think the Titans are going to just come off the boil, and I think the Raiders are just going to be good enough to take care of it. Next game up is the Warriors versus the Eels. The Eels are at home. Moses is playing good. The Wars are playing good. Last week the Wars did beat the Dolphins, so that wasn't a bad little hit out for them. Where's my money at? Eels. This is another little toss-up game, so I think the Wars probably will get the Eels, and it won't be by much, probably 3-4 points. So I'm going with Wars by 5. And the next game in, we've got the Chooks versus the Bronx. The Chooks are at home. The Chooks only lost 2 games, and the Bronx have lost 3. The Chooks are higher on the ladder, obviously. Big win from the Chooks last week. Broncos shut out the Dogs last week for half the game. I reckon Roosters by 8. That's my prediction. Next team up is the Knights versus the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs playing far too good for the Knights. Even with Dylan Brown back, I don't know where Ponga is. He might be up next. I haven't seen the team sheets because it's only Monday. I reckon the Rabbitohs are going to be good enough, and they'll be good enough by about 16 over the Knights. So Rabbits by 16. The next one is the Sharks versus the informed Tigers. I don't have much to say about the Sharks, but the Tigers seem to be playing good football. Blue Eyes having a good game. Last week when the Sharks played the Cowboys, Nico had a pretty good game. He was in there doing business. But this time, I think the Tigers might be just good enough. They are at Shark Park down there at the Shire. And yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a tough one. Tigers by 4, I reckon. That'll be my pick there. And to round out, we've got the good old Panthers versus Manly. And if Manly beat the Panthers, I'll eat my hat. So I reckon the Panthers will win this game and win comfortably. I'm going around about 19. Just so I'm going to start the field goal for fun. 19 to 22. 22 will be the score. So to recap the scores, I'm going with the Dogs for 4, the Finns for 4, the Raiders. Well, I didn't say how much the Raiders are going to win by, but I reckon they'll win by about maybe 6. The Wars by 5, Chooks by 8, the Rabbits by 16. It's going to be a good game to watch through some many tries. Tigers by 4, and like I said with the Panthers, they could snap a field goal for fun. So they could go 19, they go 22, they'll be more like 22 up rather than 19. So that's my predictions this week. Happy days. Let's talk about the ladder. Some people have jumped out the circle, some people have jumped in. Some people have used the circle and they're alert. Lynette, Georgia, well done. 8 from 8 from you guys. Mars bars coming. Don't forget to look out for those, or let me know when or where you want to get those couple of little Mars bars from. Very good. The ladder has changed a fair bit. Have a look at your scores up there over the last few weeks, just so I haven't been here, and hopefully I've done it properly so it all looks good. So if you think there's a mistake there, drop us a line. I'll recheck emails and we'll see if we can get the numbers together. So that's about it for this week. For those out there, like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and if you're not in our tipping comp, put down in the comments who you picked this week. Okay guys, that's it for this week, and have a nice week and enjoy the weekend.